Have you ever pondered about the significance of Leviticus chapter 7 in the Bible? As we set out on this journey of discovery, it is vital to remember that the book of Leviticus is not just the third book in the Torah and the Bible. It is a treasure trove of divine laws and rituals that shaped the life of the Israelites. Now, what makes chapter 7 stand out? Well, it's a fascinating chapter that serves as a conclusion to the discussion on sacrifices which began in chapter 1. It encapsulates the rules of guilt offerings, peace offerings, and the portions of meat that were given to the priests. But it's not just about the rules. It is also about the underlying themes of sanctity, obedience, and communion with God. So why is it relevant today? The essence of these ancient rituals and laws provides us with a profound understanding of the faith and devotion of the people back then. Now let's delve deeper into the verses of chapter 7 and unearth their profound meanings. Beginning with verses 1 through 10, we find detailed instructions about guilt offerings. These verses are a rich tapestry of ancient religious practices, offering a window into the spiritual life of Israel during this period. The guilt offering, known as Asham in Hebrew, held a significant place in their worship. It was specifically designed for situations where individuals had committed unintentional sins that had an impact on holy things. The rituals associated with the guilt offering were complex, involving specific animals and precise procedures. Why such complexity, you might ask? It all boils down to symbolism. Every aspect of these rituals, from the choice of the animal to the sprinkling of its blood, was laden with meaning, embodying themes of repentance, purification, and restitution. These verses highlight the seriousness of guilt and the importance of making amends in the eyes of God. They remind us that acknowledging our wrongdoings and seeking to put things right is an integral part of our spiritual journey. In verses 11 to 21, we pivot to the peace offerings, a different type of sacrifice. These offerings, different from the previously discussed guilt offerings, embody celebration, gratitude, and fellowship with God. These verses provide specific instructions on how to conduct such offerings. They stress the importance of the peace offering, an act of thanksgiving or a vow. The individual is allowed to eat the meat of the offering, symbolizing a shared meal with God. This act further reinforces the sense of unity and communion. Contrasting with the guilt offerings, peace offerings are not about atonement, but about celebrating God's providence, expressing gratitude for blessings received, and maintaining a close relationship with the divine. These verses mention three types of peace offerings: thanksgiving, vow, and free will. Each carries its own significance and purpose, but all share the common theme of communion and gratitude. Peace offerings, unlike guilt offerings, symbolize celebration, gratitude, and fellowship with God. Finally, in verses 22 to 38, we encounter prohibitions and further instructions for priests. These verses delve into the specifics of what the Israelites were forbidden to eat, including fat and blood from any bird or animal. These prohibitions were not arbitrary. They played a crucial role in setting the Israelites apart from other societies around them, emphasizing their unique relationship with God. Moreover, these verses outline the responsibilities of the priests in implementing these directives. The priests were not just religious figures, they were teachers and guides, ensuring that the community adhered to the laws set out in Leviticus. In the broader context of ancient Israel's religious and social structure, these verses highlight the central role of obedience to God's laws. They were not just rules, but a way of life, a path to holiness. These final verses underscore the importance of obedience to God and the sacred role of the priests. Leviticus chapter 7 is a fascinating blend of ritual, symbolism, and divine instruction. This chapter underscores the importance of guilt and peace offerings. These offerings served not only as a means of reparation for wrongs, but also as a tool for reconciliation, marking a restoration of peace between God and his people. The priests play a vital role in this process, acting as intermediaries between the people and God. They receive portions of the offerings as their share, emphasizing the symbiotic relationship between the clergy and the laity. Obedience to God's instructions is a recurring theme throughout Leviticus, and chapter 7 is no exception. It underlines the necessity of adhering to God's dietary laws and the consequences of transgressions. In essence, Leviticus chapter 7 gives us a glimpse into the intricate world of religious and social practices in ancient Israel. Understanding Leviticus chapter 7 helps us appreciate the rich tapestry of religious and social practices in ancient Israel and their profound influence on the Judeo-Christian tradition. Are you ready for the next chapter? Just click here to go straight to it.